In your experience in producing, what have you noticed? What stands out to you as a producer? Like when you like, what makes you hear? I mean, being someone that produces my own music, like we hear music differently at this point. This is actually a great example because you said you were very into video editing. As somebody that does a lot of YouTube, a lot of, even before I was full-time music, I tried to make extra money by doing video work for companies and stuff. So, I know how the lens works. I know how editing works and stuff. So, like, now when I'm watching TV shows or movies, like, you see things that people don't see. In music, you hear things that people don't hear. So it's, like, almost hard to break out of that to some degree and just enjoy something, right? So, does anything stick out to you as a song? I'm kind of actually elaborating on the question. Has there been a song recently that has kind of gotten you out of that? Because I noticed probably one out of every 1,000 songs like snaps me out of it, and I'm like, wow, this is just a sick song. And then of course I go back and dissect it, but 90% of the time I'm always dissecting it. It's when that one song gets me out of it, I'm just like loving the song. So I'm curious if there's any artists or songs recently that have done it for you.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because I was thinking about this recently. Like, I never listen to music just as a listener. It's just kind of a curse of like working on this so hard and understanding
100%.
like going through the craft and everything. Like, I'm like,
Absolutely.
what's the tempo? Like, why did they pick these drums? It's like everything. And I'd say like a big indicator for me is when I don't think about that, which is like so rare. I mean, when
That's
a
what I'm
song
saying.
comes on
Absolutely.
where I'm like, whoa, and I don't even think about the chords. I don't think about like the lyric. Like, I just like listen. I always am like, that's a pretty rare experience for me right now. And
I
I'm like,
completely agree. Does anything stick out like specifically to you, like
yeah.
any
And then
track?
I love this artist Amelia Moore. If you listen to Amelia Moore,
All
she
right,
just
Amelia Moore.
signed to Capitol. She just released her first EP. She's incredible. It's called Teaching a Robot to Love.
Huh. All right.
It's produced by this producer Pink Slip.
Oh yeah, I know Pink Slip.
He's incredible. And
Yeah.
the EP is like just inspiring. It's like really you hear so much of the same thing that whenever like I think it's really important to always actively push to try to be different.
Hmm.
And you look at the most successful producers and songwriters, and they did something different. They did something that made them iconic, that you listen to it and you go, that is.
Well, it's actually really interesting because, again, referencing the conversation I had with somebody earlier, they were saying that a lot of times authenticity leads to this uniqueness that ends up being your personal stamp, right? It's like when the lack of authenticity is when we're trying to pander to what's popular or just write to what's popular. And it's like when you actually take a step back and be like, what's authentic to me as an artist? You be you. That's when like your uniqueness comes out. Because, whether we could have the same exact life experiences, but like even just temperament wise, like we're different. Everybody's different. So everybody has a unique perspective on certain things, right? So we all have these unique artistry in us. And as soon as you start to look inside yourself, that's where the true authenticity comes out. And that's where the true uniqueness comes out and the true difference comes out.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really that I think that's the hardest thing to do, honestly, like keep in touch with that inner artistry and like authenticity and who you are. But like it's so important to actively pursue that.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely, man. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. This has been an absolutely phenomenal conversation. You've touched on a couple different points, but I'm curious. The final question I like asking everybody is, what is one thing you currently know now in your career that you wish you knew when you first started off?
It's possible.
Preach,
It really
man.
is. More than possible.
That's a great answer. I love that answer, actually. That's phenomenal.